upper depends sometimes. So what would you target ban against Furia is what I'm trying to think about. Because Chalet, I mean, that is the map of Furia whenever I look at it. I'm always thinking that's what they innovated on, that's where they like their reign of supreme they started. But if you look at Shopify back when they were called Sonics, one of the strongest teams in Chalet in North America, one of the few teams that could match Furia probably in a one-to-one situation. So looking at this Chalet map, I don't think it plays out as heavily favored towards Furia as one might think at first. Oh, Blitz?
Blitz ban coming through. That Monty and Blackbeard have snuck on through. The Capitao as well, with all of the impact it can have on Chalet, has made it through the veto. Wamai, that's an unusual ban. You talked about Rebellion being the team that tends to throw those curveball bans. I don't remember the last time we saw a Wamai ban. Like back in the util meta, back in the 22nd as we like to call it meta, that was the staple ban.
Yeah.
But now Furia have taken it out, and that really does restructure. What are you going to use? Are you going to use a lot more Jaeger? Or are you maybe even going to see a Rooney? No, it's not the same, is it? Wamai is so unique in his ability to hold these power positions.
I really like this though, because this is speaking to the expectations of this match. If you think your opponent's gonna try and cheese you out with like utility, deployable shields, all this like self-destruction gadgets, banning Wamai and or Jaeger makes so much sense to make that easier for yourself. So I like this early good read. It's a good look. Furia, they are a team that we know they like to do their prep work, but I also think they often focus on their own gameplay over their opponents. In this case, they come very well prepared.
It worked for them for the longest time. All of 2023 in Copenhagen and Atlanta, and of course, to kick off the last year, 2024, when we were in Brazil, that was all theirs. Very much a different meta back then. It was before we had these crazy shield players coming in, before we had Blackbeard. We've had a lot of reworks since then. Ying's had a nerf, Senz has had a buff. Things have changed quite a lot. The landscape of Siege is ever evolving, and you've got to get with the times. Furia have failed to do that for the better part of a year. But if we turn back the clock, these teams have some history. Back when Furia were called W7M and Rebellion were called the Sonics, they played 3 times, twice at the Copenhagen Major, once at Six Invitational in Sao Paulo, and Rebellion, at the time Sonics, failed to win even a map in all of those 3 times. Furia, formerly as W7M, they were the best the whole way through. So this is a bit of a grudge match as well. With Canadian at the helm, Rebellion look to do what they've failed to do before under previous representation.
Speaking of those shields, serve Rebellion in this very first round. Clash gets brought out in full force. In case you're not super familiar with some of Rebellion's game plan, typically speaking, they love to play a very adaptive style. So right now, trying to figure out what's the pace going to be. Okay, Furia, they're going to go fast, to be aggressive. How can we stop that? Bring something like a shield off the Clash. If that then doesn't work, they'll flip into something else. They got a very deep strategical pocket. They have very many options to go through. That's an experience something like Canadian and your Code Super can really give to a team. We'll see though, defense Chalet can be very tricky to deal with, but I will say this, Shopify Rebellion specifically chose to start defense, which is very uncommon on this map.
And already they're cooking on their defense with that Clash. An unusual operator to be picking on Chalet. Clearly something specific in mind, holding onto this display hallway, full reinforcements here on the office wall. Begs for a little bit of hard breach. Guess what we don't really have any of here on the Furia side? Hard breach, and Nade misses. And not a lot of util here for hers to deal with this Clash's position. Not a lot of operators in general to deal with the Clash's position.
No, none at all. I mean, you had grenades and you've spent them already, so what do you do next? Well, you gotta go in guns blazing. That's exactly where Clash comes into play. The rest of Rebellion, though, they can't overly aggressively swing and take these massive risky gunfights because if they fall around the Clash will be useless. Gotta stay up rather, stay alive simply, and play down the clock.
I think that Rebellion can play down the clock here. Furia are the ones that need to move. And like I said, there's not a lot to deal with this Clash. We've got a few air jabs. Here comes the Aruni gate, burns out. And, well, the Aruni himself will find the opening pick. Rexon to take down KZ. Ooh. No herds, you need to be winning that fight. But Rexon, with the DMR, in the dark corner of Library, pulls the wool over Furia's eyes as all of them seem to fall. Even Surf finds one. Grixer holding onto his position inside of Bar. as JV92 spots the clash. Nothing he can do about that. Desperation, SMG-12 in hand, up against 4 players from Rebellion, who have all slunk back away deeper into the site. No diffuser, just about no hope as well. Had to rotate. Holly's about to get met with a face full of buckshot. He tanks the first, but Grixis snipes him with the second. And a phenomenal start for the North Americans.
Yeah, and Super calls it right in the background. Good patience. It's again, they recognize the win conditions of the team. It's very straightforward. You simply sit still on your position. You wait for Furia to fully overcommit to the take against the Clash. And then all you have to do is win a couple of gunfights. Rexy made this round so much easier, getting this first 2K. That's pretty much where the round becomes a done deal. The air jab trade there is phenomenal. Surf with the hipfire, takes down Nade. Then we saw Philippox and JV downstairs trying to go for a bomb side flank kind of in the middle of all that, but that's where we got the Fenrir, the barbed wire, and these other gadgets. Shopify Rebellion are so good at putting utility in some areas and players in others, leaving no gaps to be found. Whereas some teams might not play as much barbed wire, for example, there might have been a way in for a backstab. Not against these players.
It was Shopify who were hiding a lot of operators when we saw them play on
That
there,
too.
wasn't it? Yeah, I assume that last round the Clash was well hidden because Furia really, I feel like their lineup didn't do it justice. There was no Zafir, there were a few flashbangs and the Nomad, but in my eyes, not nearly enough to deal with that Clash. A lot of options. But yeah, even the fact that there was no hard breach available to deal with that office wall restricted the mobility there for Furia.
Oh, you're right. And that's also what Shopify they like to do. They like to make things just difficult for the opponents to figure out what's the full picture right now. When you're hiding an operator, whether it's a Clash or Kaid or a Bandit or whatever, a Jaeger, for example, if you only see 4 out of 5 defenders, you never have the full picture. Furia, what they can do to answer back against this is to pick a very broad-term operator lineup. So you always bring Hoppage, you always bring self-destruction, you can play Sophia, for example, in case of a Clash, and no matter what bombs that you're attacking, you will have a good baseline foundation to work off of, but you won't be specifically amazing in one area. That's the risk that you're willing to play right now, because if Shopify Rebellion keep bringing out these like one-off pocket strats that are kind of out of nowhere and you don't have the full picture, I don't expect Furia to bring the right tools by sheer chance or luck to actually break it apart. I mean, no team would be able to.
Yeah. We have seen a lot of new stuff from various different teams. But to me, Shopify Rebellion is the one that stands quite distinct from the rest.
I would say so.
I feel like I've seen the most new stuff out of this roster compared to any team at SI so far.
Yeah, that we've specifically cast and watched with a very narrow eye, I would say so as well. We've seen every team has done something unique, like a strat around a play, but it feels like Shopify's entire identity as a whole is very refreshing.
It's about how deep that strat book can go, how many new different ideas, even in that second round, which we're about to get into, by the way, guys. As you can see, a little bit of a technical issue that we're resolving, but I can see that we got at least half the players in the lobby. We'll be back into it before you know it. But in that second round, I did see that Canadian was actually on the Clash. So that's,
oh, really?
Yeah, 2 players,
oh boy,
different players
Get
on
me
the
out.
roster, getting on the Clash in the first 2 rounds. I wonder if this is something specific that Shopify Rebellion have identified from watching Furia, maybe thinking that they don't bring enough tools to deal with the Clash, maybe that they're just not particularly good at dealing with it. And yeah, I feel like Clash is an unusual one for Chalet. Very occasionally we'll see it, usually to deal with something very specific, like maybe top library stairs on a bar hold, maybe boiler on a basement hold. But it feels like Shopify Rebellion really have a lot of ideas. They really want to bring it. They're looking to exploit some weaknesses they've seen.
The biggest thing on the Clash to me is that this is just from my mind, but I'm pretty sure somebody went back statistically. We almost never see Clash in the first round or 2. It's an adaptive play you do after a couple of defense. You go, oh, this isn't working. Let's clutch something else or crutch something else. Let's do the Clash.
Yeah.
Very rarely do we see that being the opening strat in mind in round number 1 and round number 2 by 2 different players. Yeah. That's never happening.
Yeah.
But that's where it stands out to me.
Again, to me, feels like a deep strat book situation here. A lot of leadership changes, of course, have happened with Shopify Rebellion. All of the core players in terms of the tips of the spear, the fraggers on this roster, you know, your Grixer, your Rex and Ambi, they have stayed the same for the longest time. But Canadian is new, and of course, Super moving from general management with Sonics to then actually coaching this roster around the same time. That was before Stage 2, so it's been a while now, about 6 months. I think finally we're seeing dividends paid for the work that Rebellion put in, for those changes that they made in the roster, and it's beautiful. It's exactly what we've been waiting for. I mean, for a long time, the Sonics roster was always a really solid team in North America and could often have an okay splash at international events. It's early days here at Six Invitational, but Rebellion have certainly showed us that they are going to be in conversation for a main stage performance.
And then there's Furia, right? The team they want to see more from, more consistency, more wow factors, more innovation. They are a world-class team with world-class individual players. But they don't always show it in the current given meta. I like this mini play as well. The Ramp opens up the door, and Nuke sneaks on in.
Oh, he almost finds a pick, though. If you watch his stock, there's comms, the red ping, and the pick onto Ambi. Beautiful.
Just get out.
It might not matter that he doesn't actually pressure the side. He's found that kill onto that roamer very early on. Ambi as well, such a phenomenal player for Rebellion. The young gunner himself, youngest player at the tournament. To take him out early is a significant blow to the firepower that the defense have on offer.
It's such a good mini play though, because that boogie drone from the ramp is such a common thing to do, but you never seen a player in behind it, let alone a Nuke who can't be seen by those cameras, the Valkyries, the defaults, etc. So it's such a risk-free, high-reward kind of play, and you saw Hurts, after getting the initial opening, he just gets back into bar, holds an angle, and just stays alive. They don't want to throw the lead they just built for themselves. They also got the IQ to counter the Valkyrie, so I feel like Furia this time around done a much better job with picking the right operators. The only worry, there is nothing really to deal with Canadian on the Clash, but I don't think Clash is going to be as pivotal for this round necessarily, because Furia got that opening pick and has so much map control.
The worst enemy of a clash is if she finds herself alone with no teammates remaining. In a way, Furia might be able to just avoid her.
Yeah,
focus up on the remaining players, and then Canadian can have very little to no impact.
Yeah, the reason why this opening kill is so important is that Clash can only cover one position, either blue stairs, fireplace stairs, or backside on wine cellar. And wherever Clash isn't, you can just send the most of your players in that position, attack everywhere all at once. You got the 5v4, 5v3 against the Clash. Right now, Furia is still figuring out what's the attack going to look like. Count the cameras, do a bit more self-destruction maybe. They've got the hard bridging done that I think they desire. So perhaps all they're waiting for is the Toxic Babes to vanish. There's 2 left in pocket of Surf. He can stall for about 20 or so seconds.
I haven't figured out where the intention is.
Shot it.
That's big.
Planting.
Surf's just got 1 smoke left remaining.
They're planting.
The plan is somehow going down at the shelf. Meanwhile, Canadian has no idea. He's supported Surf to take down KZ and retain control of blue. However, Furia may have done just enough. Surf, he smokes and successfully covers off that position. Canadian's gone for a huge flank, and he spots out Herds on the other side, finds the player, and immediately Rebellion have the advantage. Dashing into place to try and counter defuse. Maybe Rebellion are onto something. It's all up to JV92. The clutch is calling, and he can't even find the first kill. A beautiful retake from the North Americans. Fire up.
Let's go, guys. Way to be up.
A ridiculous retake of a round. I think Furia made a very good play. Again, they recognize Clash is Shopify Rebellion's win condition. If they just put so much pressure distraction on Blue Staircase, they're gonna think that's the push to care for. They sneak in the plant uncontested. Toxic Babes in pocket, C4 available, nothing happened to stop it at all. They had no clue. And I'm thinking to myself, how do you retake this? Okay, sure, Clash going on the Blue Staircase. This flank from Troy shouldn't happen in my mind. And I think it only happened because there was simply a lack of drones from Furia. 2 left and pocket slash on the ground. Nothing watching that flank. Massive vulnerability that goes unnoticed. Furia, they pay the price. Rexton got a 3K as well to kite DMR, so he made minced meat of those guys on the bomb side.
Yeah, great start from Rebellion. 2 rounds off the rip on Chalet on the defensive side. As you said, unusual to pick defense first on Chalet. Rebellion are starting to show us why. They want to set the pace by bringing that clash, by being a little bit unpredictable. They've done it 2 rounds in a row. Now they're done and dusted with it. It's time to bring out a new strat. We've got Castle, we've got Mira. We're reshaping the map, reshaping the bomb sites in the absence of the Wamai, which was banned out by Furia. The Jaeger makes an appearance.
Yeah, there's extending the round where you play the Wamai and or both the Wamai and the Jaeger if it was opened up. You're a bit more limited if you're Rebellion, but I think they're gonna be okay. They got the mirror windows, they got the Warden, they got substitutions for those kind of operators. Furia, though, they want to do something tricky. They got the glass and the sense. Mind you, the sense wall is no longer a smoke grenade. Glass and Warden, Maestro, Evil Eyes, etc. You cannot see through that as a smoke anymore. It's a wall. So the sense cannot be paired with the glass. The smokes from the glass itself is all you can use to activate the gadget.
Or perhaps the smokes from the Capital, of course.
Or the Capital smokes.
Let's not forget about that. Here comes the fire, though, from KZ. An attempt at countering that mirror window, perhaps. The Grimsby's go out. Surf doesn't care. He's getting spotted. He'll go for a kill anyway. JV to trade. And immediately bash his way into sight. Furia are deep into the thick of it, and Rebellion must be ready to repel this attack. A pre-fire from the Blackbeard. Canadian bests him. But still, Furia have that diffuser down. Rebellion still with numbers on their side, but Nade is in an awkward position. Deep inside of Master, nobody on Repel here from the Brazilian side to cover off this defuse. Look at the patience from Rebellion. They waited to pick Rexon back up again. And now a run out to make sure that there's nobody watching. Nade's found one, C4! It finds him! It's up to KZ now. He's got 2 to find. That diffuser still ticking away, not a lot of time left. Canadian can't stick it, but he's got the time for the refrag. A big moment from Canadian again, as Rebellion have shut Furia down 3 rounds in a row.
Let's go. Did you see that? I dogged every last one of those motherfuckers.
He did. He did. Listen to him. The big dog knows what's up.
Let's go.
You know, in that 2v1, I believe it was Ambi and Troy left. Troy goes to the defuse, Ambi goes into war, gets demolished by a KC pre-fire, and then Canadian's like, I guess I gotta get off this stick and just slam him. And he does just that. Note for here, they sent in Rexon first, who was 20 HP after getting revived, because he was the least valuable member. That's a great shot from Troy. So the understanding of all the small details from Shopify is excellent. They together the 3 people, get the revive, send in the low hitch guy first for information, follow up with the C4. They don't miss anywhere. And they figure it all out so fast, they're happily giving the plant by getting kills so that they have more manpower for the retake.
And they're so restrained, they made sure that they had time to go and hit that revive. No players were pushing until Ambi Rexon got revived. And Canadian, like, what the hell? This guy
he's
used to be... I mean, he's amazing, right? He's been a great player for a while. He's been a leader. He's been an IGL. He's been a support for a lot of his career. Since when was he nasty? Since when was this guy nasty?
I think I'm going to go back to Laxing and Fox on the desk when they said joining this new kind of younger roster with more, I don't want to say hunger because Darkseer was hungry, but the vibes are different. There's more emotion. There's more life, if you will. You got Ambi who drops the craziest one-liners and he clutches and stuff like that. Like, I baptized that dude. And it's just, I think Canadian feeds off of that so much as a person.
Yeah.
Because he has awoken this event.
Yeah, definitely an energy diff factor for Rebellion. Canadian's always been the loudest guy in the server. But he's often been on pretty quiet teams. You think back to some of his teammates on DZ, some of his teammates back in the day on even EG.
Yeah.
Very much not at Canadian's pace. And Ambi is quite the opposite. Now Furia, 3 rounds they floundered. The Finker boost, the Adrenal Surge comes out. Nice shot there from JV92. Immediately Rebellion are put back in their place as Furia spring into action with an executing moment up on the top floor. What's going on there from Canadian? Eventually, awkwardly takes down KZ. Grixa and Canadian now to try and withstand 4 players from Furia.
Gotta hit that reset button if you're Furia now. Just slow things down. You don't want to risk losing this round. You've almost got it in the bag. Canadian though, phone call. Drop the hatch actually. IQ hurts flanking downstairs. Does he hear this? Grenade. Pauses the movement. He has no idea.
Canadian doesn't realize actually a player below him didn't get that read onto where Herds had relocated. Poor Grixer caught in an awkward spot. Finally, round on the board for the world champs.
And they took full control. That was them playing furious tempo and not, bowing down to Shopify saying, you know what, we're gonna play Clash, slow things down, hold these angles. No, they just brute forced their way through it, won the gunfights, played so well together. And even in the round before this one, the master bedroom attack, they did that execute, right? Jump in bathroom window, rappel in solarium, and they had really good timings, but it's just, again, the small things don't go their way, and therefore they lose the round. I think Furia have been putting in a lot of work in these rounds, and it wasn't looking poor at all. But again, when it comes down to the post plans, they've lost twice. I think the win rate after getting the bomb down is like 80% across the entirety of the game, casual ranked, etc. It's like they should have won those rounds, but they didn't. This 3-1 scoreline doesn't tell the full story.
No, it doesn't. These rounds have been close, but it's really a testament to how Rebellion can play those post plants. Also, a lot of multi-kill rounds. Rexon got a 3K on the basement. Canadian got a 3K on the master bedroom site. And Furia just then, I believe Herds had 3 in that round. A lot of big hit moments for these star players on both rosters. Now we go to Kitchen. The very first time we're seeing this bomb site. 4 different bomb sites in the 5 rounds we've played so far.
It's funny because that upstairs hold is basically textbook W7M before they became Furia. The frost shield in the hallway, the long lines of side. They also play a castle, but it's just funny because what Furia are watching right now in most of their matchups on Chalet is what they themselves trend set back in the day as the Mets at the best way to play Chalet.
Yeah, but that's what happens, right? You become the best in the world, and that target appears on your back. That's exactly what happened after this Furia roster won Six Invitational. I would argue it probably happened after they became finalists in Montreal for the Montreal SI in 2023. And then winning Copenhagen just solidified that. Winning Atlanta established their dynasty, and then that was solidified in Brazil. Everyone was looking at this roster. How are they playing? How do we beat them? Since then, it's been absolute calamity. A chance to go back-to-back at SI, though, but in the group, Rebellion's already giving them a run for their money, up 3-1. A lot of pressure, though, from this attacking side. The Brazilians starting to encircle that position on the top floor. Poor Surf is feeling the pressure.
He's playing it so well, though. Dodging grenades, the Grim Bees applying pressure, ripping the C4, killing drones. I mean, this man is doing it all, but he walks up against an open wall, thinking the rappel on him was gonna come, but no, Casey holding that angle passively instead. This time they're learning. Furia, they are adapting, expecting these cheeky plays from Shopify Rebellion. They were joining the side while this was ongoing too from Philippox's Twitch. So they have intel to work with. Only 3 drones left, but another kill follows from KZ.
That's classic KZ for you. He wins those fights. He's such a demon. Looks for another 3K.
You were saying?
Grixer and Canadian to try and clutch up now in a 2 versus 5. I think Furia might have found that momentum they have been building.
I mean, look at the pace for them. They're much slower in the early stage of the round. And they set up, they get super explosive. Then they hit the reset again, just like previously. They're droning, they're checking, destruction, rotations to the windows.
Grixer is so dead.
Canadian is so dead.
Canadian tried to play sneaky beaky like in Trophy. He was spotted and he had nothing for it. Grixer desperately trying to find something. The pre-fires in abundance. Furia lock in a second round. Nothing for it for Rebellion. And the energy has finally entered the server for Furia.
This could be what, a basement, Kai 2-bro angle maybe now from Shopify. I'm trying to think ahead before they pick anything. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm trying to think to myself, what would I do? Now you're losing gunfights, you're losing on the opening engagements. Shopify can slow things down and just play utility if they want to. Surf had a unfortunate decision there, and it just kind of falls apart afterwards. Casey walks in, picks things apart, makes it look so easy. The second you lose the first 2 players, it's basically over. They have gone basement, no Kai 2-bro Triggeroni, so there will be a clash again on Canadian. I think this is pretty much more or less the same setup as previously. Just gotta see if Ambi can stay alive in the roam game this time and not die to the Nuke sneak in very early on.
Yeah. The thing that I wonder, as we're 5 rounds deep, moving into the last of the half here, Rebellion on defense. We were praising them, saying, look, unusual to pick defense on Chalet, but they started with 3 rounds in a row. Now, with a bit of perspective, we look back, we say, well, Furia have just won the last two back-to-back. And the two before that, they got the plant down and nearly won those rounds. It took a clutch/retake from Rebellion to win it. In a way, you could argue that if it wasn't for kind of one-off moments, clutches and retakes, this would be a 4-1 scoreline in favor of Furia. And that doesn't bode so well for Rebellion. They really need to win this round to bring that momentum back. Ooh. And this Roamer's still upstairs in Master. KZ seemingly aware.
Yeah, they know there's a player in Master bedroom, solarium, or bathroom right now with that cutoff drone in the prep phase. Now, Christian feels the pressure. He's gonna fall back. And if he doesn't jump this hatch, he does. Okay, if he's gonna go back towards office, he was dead. The hatch being opened up saves him. Fury are happy with that though. They've got the full top floor control in 25 seconds or so. The drop doesn't work out. They find two people actually. And just like that again, Fury in full control, but so early this time around.
What happened? The jig is up. Rebellion started unbelievably 3 rounds in a row. Since then, Furia have made this game their own. Roam clear, easy as you like. Surf is now going for a re-roam up the blue stairs towards library.
Have to.
Yeah, there's no flank watch drone for it yet, but he's about to be spotted as Furia droned ahead. They're not getting out too far ahead of themselves, not getting too carried away. They're making sure to still check every corner.
This is classic Furia and FaZe Clan, the top teams from Brazil. They're so good at keeping their manpower lead by not throwing away bodies to silly decisions and lack of discipline. So they take the full map, flank drones, Serves actually wins that 50-50 gunfight, but you see Hurts downstairs.
Okay.
Holds him.
Almost a second. Hurts lucky to have won that fight, pushing for a refrag, and he finds it, survives the nade as well. From a 3v5 to a 2v3, very winnable, but Ambi has to not die here. And the concern for Rebellion is the Canadians, the clash. He doesn't have the firepower to play in a 2 versus 3. A lot of it comes down to Ambi with this Vector on the Goyo, but he's low HP.
They have no intel. You can see from Ambi swinging this hatch and backside, they don't know any positions of the players of Furia, where they're coming from. The Goyos have popped already very premature. Ambi 1 HP. I mean, this has gotta be a Troy round on the clash. No less, gotta step up massively and at least get a kill here to even the numbers. Second fire pop, drone gets shut down. No into enough from Furia either, so there's only one drone left, probably a flying drone somewhere. With 30 seconds to go, this is doable for Rebellion, but it will be difficult.
An entry from Philippox dropping down the hatch. Ambi is finished off Canadian. Cornered like a rat and finished off 3 rounds in a row from Furia as they tie that half back up.
I had to worry about adaptations from Furia because what Rebellion are doing is very new in this kind of meta game, and how they're playing out the rounds, not what they're used to be up against. But they've done a really good job. It did look really one-sided in the beginning, the first half, but then Furia, they figured out, okay, what kind of gear do we have to play in to keep up with this or counter it outright? The only thing that could have gone better for Rebellion is that Ambi has not really awoken yet in the series. Since the rehost, he's 1-5. He missed the pre-found, the fireplace stairs in that previous round that we just saw. Could have made it a 2v2 if he hit that shot.
Against CAG, Ambi went 25 kills to just 13 deaths in that 2-0. And look, it wasn't a completely one-sided game. Lair went full 12 rounds.
Yeah.
So Ambi has been pretty hot in this tournament so far, just hasn't woken up yet today, and he really does need to. You know, a player that has really impressed us this tournament, top 5 at SI, JV92. He was a real demon on the rise of Furia back when they were W7M, but has been a little bit quieter recently. Philippox popped off in Furia's game against Team Secret. But both of these teams capable of winning without having a star player. But the way Rebellion played that end of that defense with a lot of roam game, a lot of aggressive plays, you can't afford to do that if you're not landing your shots.
Let's see now on the sides of things, how things will shape up. We got Furia with very different operators, right? They got both the Mute, the Mossy, and the Dog in action in the first shot on Master Bedroom. Blackbeard from Rexon and Rebellion. And of course that classic, the iconic operator of this team, Sense. They'd love to play this operator, bring it out for executes, for roam games, etc. Blackbeard's in, ADS is through. How do you fix this?
Oh, nice! Got on the herds, Rexon, perfect! However, Philippox has a surprise for him. Nice C4. Not sure where the second player of KZ went down for Furia. Rebellion have sustained numbers advantage and look to try and hunt down Philippox.
Gonna stick around for as long as possible again. Min-max is the name of the game right now. Fall back too early, give up map control, stick around for too long, you might die in a gunfight.
Spotted on the drone.
Yeah, he is.
He's somehow worried about blue stairs, when in fact, Ambi's moving in from games.
Yeah, they shot the default camera from outside the wall early on, so they don't have any garage in.
Oh, no!
It's not bad, but he gets the second up JV instead. Huge pick on the cross there for Surf. Rebellion 4v2. Now they gotta do the Furia did so well. Slow things down. Reset. Only 3 drones in pocket, though very limited intel. If you gotta choose here, at least one of those 3 drones gotta be for the flank. You cannot die into Philippox and Nate going for a backstab. I guess the benefit is they're both very slow operators. They make a lot of noise.
Interesting usage of the sends there to try and cut off this line of sight. Sounds like the main wall is being breached. Nade is getting nice and aggressive onto half wall, a very powerful position, difficult to flush out.
I know there's no C4, because Philippox got the kill onto Rexen earlier on, and I'm gonna assume they know Doc is there, if not they will soon. So these sense projector walls can give them so much value to insta bombs and go for a planet tip.
Yeah, Rebellion are playing this so well. They're taking all the time in the world, all the time that they need. 40 seconds left. They definitely know there's a dock now. They heard Philippox get stimmed on up again. They're going for a refrag. They're going deep into Piano. They cut off the line of sight. Nade is isolated. Philippox can't support him. God bless Sens. All up to Philippox in a 1v4. They're hunting him. Grixer goes down. The first of many required. The rest of Rebellion fall back and look to play this in the safest way possible in the post plan. How does he get back into this one? Rebellion are not one to make a mistake, not to set a foot wrong. Aggressive from Canadian, a bit unnecessary, but it doesn't matter. He knows he's going to win that fight regardless.
Smack the fuck out of him.
That you did.
Let's go.
Great start here to the attack for Shopify.
Big praise to Rex, and I think Blackbeard is on average use of Blackbeard even in pro play, not that impressive, not that significant, but he got so much value in that round out of the operator, in through bottom window, you know, holds the angle, flicks off, covers himself with the shield, dies to a C4 eventually. It's a 2-for-1 trade, and he gets to kill himself as well. Then we get the sense in action. I mean, I think they're the best team in the world right now to use this operator. Cut off the bomb site in half, push on it aggressively, 3 versus 1. It's very, very good.
I really love the way that Sens was used there. It's not even like it was a part of a set play or a specific execute. It's quite simple. Sens is just great for isolating 1v1s. These 2 players, they're separated. If we just put a light wall between them, the projectors will prevent them from supporting each other. It's no longer a crossfire, it's 1v1s. And we got 4 players, so let's make that 2 4v1s.
Exactly. I actually like this in Furia though. They're playing their own util game, the Kaid, the Clash, downstairs in basement, slow things down, and now they gotta make Rebellion problem solve this. The only thing is, they too play this kind of strat, so they got pretty good ops for it, right? The Kali coming out, it's a rare occasion, but the soft destruction, the ability to destroy both like the bandit batteries, the kite close, the meat jammers, any sort of wall deny is great. Only Kite can play this round. Counters the Clash, of course, directly with the sniper, you get the guard breaking effect. So much value to be had on this lineup from Rebellion. They are very well prepared for this.
You can have a good lineup, but it doesn't mean you're going to kill these cheeky roamers like herds on the top floor. That comes down to your gameplay rather than just having the right operator for it.
That's the one thing they're lacking, if anything, right? Roam clear. I mean, who's going to go in first? I guess in this case, the IQ, because you don't have any like active value right now. So value from Echo, for example.
Could even entry with Ambi, get him to throw out some of his RAM.
Yeah, if you throw him early, you could. He's tossed 1 so far. It's a start. A little bit of fireplace, vertical destruction, as we see on the left-hand side of your screen.
He's got a good gun for this entry as well with that R4C. Is there going to be a drone here to spot out herds? I don't know if Rebellion's going to full clear.
No, they haven't gone that far. They're taking office, kitchen, dining.
Oh, there's a drone in display here.
Yeah.
It's going to find herds in just a moment.
There's a half take. They take half of the map. They work the backside angle. Flying drone shot. The thing is, if Ambia loses the flank watch gunfight against Hertz or anybody else, it opens things up massively for Furia.
Don't push this.
So much pressure.
Quick kill. I was a bit worried there for a second. Ambi almost lost his life. Herds uncharacteristically losing a 1 versus 1. but that does dictate the pace of this round now for Rebellion. Furia forced back. JV reveals his position and then goes to the main stairs. Tries to enable a line of sight towards Wine Cellar, which is clearly where Rebellion are shaping up for their push.
Oh yeah, they got 4 players back here just waiting for the right approach. The thing is, the Clash is in the middle of the bomb site. They gotta take boiler control. Hard left here of Rexon on that rotation. If they can get that in control, that should be the round for them. They get the entries, they get the bomb site control. They have a way in. But Clash, Nate is pushing up to assist it.
How do they plan to clear this boiler position?
3, 2, 1, gotta send it.
You got KZ here with a shotgun. He's just found Rexon.
In.
Deep into sight. Our Rebellion Canadians found 2. Immediately, Nate will reply in kind. But there might have been enough done. Nate desperately trying to find something. Not a lot of bullets left. Canadian! Wake up, mate! Nate is going to find another one! A triple on the round! He saved them! He has saved Furia!
And some people think Clash is a passive operator where you just have the shield out.
Forget about it.
Nate gets 3 kill after kill after kill, clutched up massively for his team. The decision making there can't be easy. Do I go for intel? Do I go for kill? Do I support my teammates? Do I play on my own? I mean, Shopify Rebellion did a great job at surprising Furia by not doing the logical thing. They sprinted into the bomb site door and the long line of sight wall and just skipped Warlock completely. Canadian, I think, got 2 kills here on the entry, then starts planting in pretty interesting position.
Dude, he
No
needed
cover.
to gun up there. The time was not ticking down. KZ can't believe it. Oh, he was massive on the ward in that round in Boiler.
It was. He stayed alive, got his kill.
And he got the kill to close as well.
True.
Oh, Furia have come back massively from the 0-3 start. Rebellion started strong on their attack as well. Furia have shown they can keep pace here on defense. I'll tell you what, Nick, this is going to be a good series.
Oh, we knew that before it started.
We already knew that.
We knew that like a week ago before the event. So we said, which game are we the most excited about? We were like, Furia Rebellion could be really good when we get down to 4.
I have a confession to make.
What's that?
I was worried that it wasn't going to be good. I was worried that we were
You were
hyping it up.
sleeping Rebellion, weren't you?
No, I was kind of sleeping on Furia, to be honest.
Oh, semi-valid reasons, though.
Yeah.
They haven't been great to their expectational level in the last, recent history.
No, it's been pretty rough. I mean,
they didn't
especially after losing to CAG 2-0 in their opening game here at SI. People were wondering, God, is this really the reigning world champion that we remember from Brazil last year?
In case you guys didn't watch all of, the last year, so to speak, when the shield meta came around, like the Fuse, the Blitz, the Monty, and they were just taken over in pro play, Furia, they never really bothered learning that. They said themselves, we don't really have a shield player, we don't like the playstyle, we just don't have the right mindset for it, so they never really went into it, and they were getting slapped about by shields every single game. Then shields got nerfed recently, and Furia, of course, in direct correlation, they look a lot better and more comfortable because other enemy teams are now playing a meta game that they want to play against more. They're back.
They are back. They didn't even make it to Montreal. The last time we saw Furia on the world stage was EWC. Prior to that, it was Manchester. It's been a hot minute. It's nice to see them back in black, donning those jerseys, keeping pace here with Rebellion on their defense, holding on to Bar. Good support of the top floor. That's a deadly drone directly in the sight from Rebellion. I like that.
I can see this match become very mentally draining for a player like Canadian, calling the shots for Rebellion. You gotta problem solve this setup. The deployable shields, the Jaeger ADSs, the Clash walking around, and if anyone makes a mistake or you don't cover everything perfectly with your IGLing, your leadership, you're gonna have a hard time. Sense wall fire goes down, smoke grenade as well. Where's the entry?
Is there cover? Nade being fought. Felipox, meanwhile, has finished off Canadian. No more fire bolts available. Andy wants to take this 1v1. How in God's name do you win that fight against the shield? There's no way you're meant to land that shot, Ambi. He's been traded back. Furia, well, they have won the exchange. Rebellion left worse for wear despite having control of the top floor. They are a player down. But Furia are one gun short thanks to KZ being on that Clash. And now Herds has suffered a deadly fate at the hands of Surf. He's looking to glide into this round, up above the site in the hatch. with just 15 seconds left in it to go. Furia holding on to their positions, shaking in their boots. Big flank from KZ. He's come up behind them. Grixer stunned out, and he will get the gun out, finish him off. On the side, JV is the hero, and Furia have taken the lead.
Oh, I mean, it's so cheeky. You play the Clash, that's one thing, but you play Clash combined with the Duck, and you gotta kill that operator more than just once. The Captain of Fires took Casey down to 1 HP as the Clash player, but then you go back to the bomb side, get doxed him rather, and you're full HP.
And that's the tactical timeout from Shopify Rebellion. What is Seth gonna say to the squad now?
Okay, make sure we all understand where we are, what we're doing, and what's going on. As Troy mentioned, they've been bunkering this whole time. Now, if they follow the pattern, now that means we're going to be extended. We might have more opportunity to hit site. They could also just be relying on us thinking we're slow. So the main thing here is expect clash if they're bunkering and try to speed it up. Look for gaps, because these guys are going to give you gaps. Look for them. Identify with their clashes. Understand that's a stronghold. Speed it up, guys. If they're bunkering, they're giving you the map. If they're not, then we can hit site. Speed it up, guys. Let's go.
Stay positive.
So very strategical there. We got Ambi in the very end, stay positive. Of course, just like it's a long best of 3. Don't like mentally clock out anything like that. And I think what Seth is saying is very valuable and very insightful, and it's the right take in my mind as well. I will say, Furia, they have had one deep roamer every single time they play the Clash, where they play very aggressive in the beginning. But it's true, if you're gonna bunker up, you gotta speed up, buy yourself some of that time. It's a nice angle.
Yeah, no, very insightful hearing Seth there coaching up for Shopify. I love his demeanor, by the way. Very calm, very logical. He makes it seem so simple.
Yeah.
There's 2 options. Either they're running the Clash and they're bunkering, in which case we have the map and we can take in an accelerated fashion, or they're roaming and we can look for a gap on site. And he makes it sound so simple. He makes things much quicker to process. Even the fact that he credited Canadian at the start of that tactical summit, he said, just like Troy said, this is how it is. I have a lot of confidence in Rebellion. I don't think this game is as close to being over as Furia would have you believe.
I mean, I'm all down for a good old overtime if you ask me for this one. Just to see how far can we stretch both these 2 rosters on a map like Chalet that doesn't play out that differently.
What
but
is
an aggressive
that,
swing. JV, the prone drop shot below the window frame, trying to take down Grixer. He was ready for it. Repel on in with the Ash charge. Hello?
That's ballsy. That's got to be a misclick.
Nah, he's just sending it, man. They're all downstairs.
I mean, they are inside. What the hell?
Look for the gap, find the gap, take the gap.
They found that gap, and they've stolen the site away. The plant going down from Rexon. This suppressive fire from Ambi, but he goes down to that C4. A kill for Canadian, traded back again. Furia dropping 1 by 1. Coverage from below. Grixer takes a bit of damage. KZ low HP. He's been the hero in this game for Furia, and he's above, creating these vertical lines of sight. He might be able to expose that position. Who is that? Downstairs for Rebellion. Hertz is about to get around it. Spotted the diffuser, rounding the corner. Rexon gets him. All up to KZ. Nothing in it. Shopify Rebellion bouncing back.
Beautiful take. I'm only left with one question. Did they have that in mind from the very beginning, or is that a reaction to the opening kill that Grixer got in Trophy? If you get that kill, you're only expecting 1, maybe 2 players on the bomb site in total, and if you kill one of them, it might just be completely free. So they get the kill, instantly 3 people jump in Trophy window, rappel on in, and just take the side. And you saw it was completely empty because the Anger player was the one who died.
That's a JV special right there. Look at this.
I mean, it looks like good.
He does that. Oh, there was a player on double window the whole time. It wasn't just, hey, YOLO, let's all run in. There was thought behind it as well. That player on the double window guaranteed the support.
The only thing is, that same setup also works for a top 4 room clear. Solarium Repel, Trophy window, Big Master window Repel. They could have done a roam clear or a side push, and getting an opening kill might have defined which one they would have gone for. And thankfully, nobody was too far away doing their own thing when they got the pick, so the reaction was super snappy. If they got the diffuser was like 5 seconds further away, that doesn't play out the way that it did, because then Fury had more time to get back towards that bomb side.
The reads are there for Rebellion. And now we hit breakpoint. Next round will determine who finds map point first. This being Furia's map pick, there is no question of who the pressure lies on. Rebellion have done an unreal job starting this very pacey and keeping the momentum back, being able to wrestle with Furia. JV needs to temper his aggression just a little bit.
Rebellion are setting up right now. West main windows, trophy window. They're just in looking for a robot, but Philippox there strikes him down. Rex is dead.
Awkward there for Philippox, or for Rexon rather. The Buck might be able to get a trade. That's good from Ambi. Philippox does go down. He was solo on an island, so it's good that Rebellion were able to trade that back. And now Ambi just making sure he's covered. A lot of resilience for a player so young and so new to this level of the game. Covering himself, not getting too carried away, droning. Meanwhile, Casey's gone for an aggressive swing. Ambi immediately drops. He's everywhere all at once.
While this is happening, Serve has been outside library balcony the entire round, not even on drones. Half the round later, he's now outside the west main window using his first injury drone on Ash. So I'm not sure Rebellion if they're fishing or if they're just like off the rip going for a mini play or whatever they were doing. But they got it down to a 3-on-3. They have Bach and Ash. Do a lot of vertical destruction. Grim Beast can be activated as well. Reaching the bomb side is going to be challenging. Solarium stairs right now is pretty free, but once you get to that top of Solarium, all these long lines of sight from Nate and Hertz, they can challenge you right back. And Surf right now actually has gone library balcony looking for a backstab.
He's got the read. I think Furia knows about it as well.
Yeah.
Drones have gone out ahead.
Defaults.
Default has called it. These mirror windows are going to be tough to take down as well.
Walls reinforced, they got no heart destruction. I'm not sure this is the play you want to go for. You don't got the sense like last time to cut the bombs in half. You kind of got to brute force it.
Good spot from the drone. JV92 knows there's someone on his balcony.
Oh,
Spots
Ambi.
Ambi. That's a huge amount of damage done. Sneeze on him and he'll fall.
Yep.
And there you go. Shot from the DMR, high caliber, finishes off Ambi, but Surf is there for the refrag. Bet you didn't expect that. Nathan Herds now to hold on. In the Bs, Herds holds his position behind that shield on the piano, and he loses his fight. Oh! Double for Grixa! Shopify Rebellion firing on all cylinders! Taking a stand, Grixa!
Let's go!
He's ready to put this one to bed.
No crossfire to be found from Furia. A very massive error. They had the deploy with shield, they said to themselves, that's
0-0,
enough.
focus up! 0-0, let's go!
We can play off the shield, win that individual gunfight, and Nate covers the office balcony door where Surf got the kill just seconds before that happened. Such a quick, snappy round though from Rebellion in the entries, just going for fights. Ambi, not a second of hesitation, drops the hatch, takes the gun, but he's everywhere. A bit overzealous in that swing maybe, but there's the 1-2. And as Super set, the coach of Rebellion, 0-0, reset.
I can't believe it. Oh my God. Oh, the energy. Man.
That's what you live for as a player, by the way. Like, you can win and you can lose, but that's memory. That's core memories. You're Ambi, you're 18, you're sitting there at SI. That's what's happening in the player comms. You're clutching up, you're problem solving. It feels so damn good. Flow state.
It's all about moments like these. It was in the playoffs last year that these two teams met in the lower bracket quarterfinals. As Sonics and W7M, similar rosters by very different names. The Furia got the better of them, 2-0 with the Brazilian crowd on their side. This time it's just a groups match, but with plenty of stakes, especially for the reigning world champions. A lot in it here on their map pick. After already losing 2-0 to CAG previously, these guys need every damn point they can get. Rebellion might be battling for first place in the group of death. Furia, they're battling for survival.
They're down on match point now if you're Furia. Bring out the Clash once again. It's had pretty good success rate, but it is tricky to make it work. And it's not always the most reliable nor consistent. Rebellion got limited tools though. Just Sophia's done some Rexon, who's an injury, who could fall in battle very early if it comes down to it. Surf, of course, back on descent, can cut off the bombs up when we get there. So Rebellion, their plan, have 5 attackers alive, able to strike the bomb site. Furia, with their current lineup, I think they're happy to match that. They got the Clash upstairs, they can play for Office Master bedroom control for as long as possible, and that's what Rebellion want to take first. EMP has to go out when we get there. Exotomachas follows up, deny the Kite Claw, that's step one.
There's a lot of work to be done. Very heavy util setup. How are they planning on clearing this? Just with the Thatcher, I guess?
Thatcher, Thermite, easy peasy.
No Tuberal. Not sure if they're aware of that. Here comes the Exothermic. Easy as you like. Very much a stacked push here for Rebellion.
This is where Clash comes into play, though. Normally, when you breach that wall upstairs as an attacking team, defenders, they fall back fearing that they don't have the intel to work off of anything. But with Clash, it's like a Monty. It's a walking drone that sees everything. They can start aggressing top floor right now, and Philippos needs to hold on for as long as possible. And as long as you control this area, that half-wall position, you can see the default plant spot from above. But that's where the sense comes into play. With the protector walls, you can change the outcome of this round.
And so it cuts off line of sight in the objective. Still, there are players above. And immediately a spray through the projector. We'll meet Canadian's demise. He's on the floor, yet to be picked up. The Clash is getting aggressive up in display. Herds has gone for a retake. Furia, they've come back to life.
Clash injured.
Rexon's got to do something here on the balcony. Herds is just waiting for him. And Rexon knows full well that Herds is there. There's a fear concussion. Information for both players. He jumps straight inside. Nate's gone down too. Canadian still dying on the floor, but now picked up. A spray from Rexon. He's still dueling on the top floor. He's got to distract to prevent the plant denial. Shotgun comes out. The pistol to meet it. Plant still not going down. And the world champs have pushed us into OT on the first map of the series.
There's so much happening throughout the entire last 90 seconds of that round. The top floor clear while they're breaching downstairs. The Clash walks forward. Troy gets smoke bang injured and is on the ground the entire time. Then they fight upstairs again. Rex with the pistol whip. It's a complete back and forth brawl. And I gotta say, Super said himself, if they got the Clash, you gotta go faster. Guess what? They brought the Clash and Rebellion were awfully slow, not breaching their first roll until past the halfway point of the round.
So here comes Igor, coach of Furia, with a tactical timeout. A lot to say. I love that he's gone for a tactical timeout, not when they first were facing match point. Shopify just won 2 rounds in a row. Now it's full reset.
Yeah.
And what was Seth saying? 0-0, guys. Don't get too excited. Now it actually is. 0-0. We're into overtime. Furia have to focus on up. They can still win their map.
Of course, the big difference right now is when you take this kind of tactical timeout, it's not just about the upcoming round like it often can be when you're facing match point. It's about the upcoming 3 rounds, both the defense and the attack. You gotta convey so much as a coach in those 60 seconds because, well, attacking and defending are 2 very different games of ball. This came down so close. JV with the injure and the kill. We said we wanted overtime, we got it.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining, James.
I have a feeling that this is not going to be the first overtime we're going to see in this match tonight, Nick.
Well, we got our caffeine in. We're pretty. We're prepped for this.
We've been waiting. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Just watching all the matches on the A stream. It's been a banger of matches today. And yeah, we've been sitting there waiting to go get our caffeine hit. Now we got it. We're ready for a long night in.
If you guys didn't see the end of Secret versus FaZe, it would be worth a rewatch. That should have gone a 3-mapper, but...
it felt like a 3-mapper, even though it
was a heartbreak of a last round, man. Doom dropping like a 20 bomb as well, fighting for his life and his teams.
Yeah, if you haven't watched that, you've got to see it, especially that very last round. KDS, play of his career. I don't know, that's high praise because he has so many good plays in his career, but it was certainly one of the top 10 highlight for him.
Oh, so the thing about overtime is that often the game actually slows down by default. The pressure is higher. You don't want to take as many risks. Furia are playing into this mental aspect of it all. They're playing not just the Clash Kite this time, but also combining it with the Tuberau and the Toxic Waves of Smoke. They saw Rebellion last round. They were very slow. You know, as I said, they breached that office wall halfway through the round without any roamers challenging them whatsoever on library side. So they're playing into it. Rebellion, if they don't recognize this and speed up soon, they will be starved for seconds left in the clock when they approach the site itself.
in Rebellion's tactical timeout far earlier, Seth said either they're going to play the Clash and Anchor, in which case you need to play very quickly on that roam clear, or they're going to heavy roam and we'll look for a gap on site. Furia are kind of debating them because the two roamers with the Clash and the Smoke, two players that usually aren't. And so a nade goes in to try and execute onto this boiler position, still spotting out that Blackbeard. Herds knows about it. He wants to keep these walls intact as long as possible on the two-brow. Meanwhile, KZ to lock down this boiler position.
They have a spare reinforcement. If they can fall back, don't they just walk on in?
Beautiful.
First kill.
The Clash did not protect his teammate. KZ went down without too much of a fight. The top player from Furia, quite simply dispatched with gas, though, from Philippox. Might be able to enable a retake of this position. This nade has fallen back.
Fire.
Here comes the fire.
Oh, so much
Nade's
damage.
gonna burn. He will just barely survive. But Rebellion have forced Furia back, tail between their legs.
They got one more fire in pocket as well. If Clash shows the face too far aggressive on the bomb side, you can just get that last arrow out, finish off the operator. Canadian now resetting. You're playing Blackbeard. This is excellent. You can walk in the bomb side safely. There's no real plan denial. One toxic bait, that's it. There's no C4. But Nade on Clash can cover, survives the fire. That's huge.
Oh, but the kills, where are they coming from? Rebellion leaving themselves exposed, and Furia will grab the opportunity with both hands. Ambi not done yet. He brings it back even again. How is everybody exposing themselves to these Furia players on site? Rebellion now, desperation seeps in. Rexon to find one. JV is low. This is winnable. That diffuser on the ground just ahead of him, but Philippox has found another one. The SMG-11, a turret in Wine Cellar. Furia finally, map point here on Chalet.
Such a good strat chosen by the lineup of Furia, saying, hey, let's slow things down, play the bomb side, but I gotta say, Rebellion, that might have been the first blunder they've had in this series, and it comes in overtime. They had boiler control. They were struggling to spend those last two Selma charges from the Ace to open up the long wall in the middle of the bomb side. And yeah, there are two barrel canisters that are being tossed at the wall, but you can quite literally see them from where you are in Boiler. You got Blackbeard, you can just sit there, sit pretty, you can wait, stall things out. They pushed the execute before they were fully ready, before getting that final wall opened up, and they paid the price. So close yet so far, Fury had to pull ahead. The first time in this series, they're taking control.
Technical pause here while we sort out Ambi's monitor.
Poor timing.
Yeah.
Monitor turns off. Lovely.
Is that sarcasm, Mr. Seth?
You got a license for that attitude?
Of course, there's nothing more tense than you going into potentially the final round of the first map and monitor cable gives out.
Deep breaths. Everybody
Deep
just
breaths.
reset. Still 0-0. Shit's not over. Let's fucking go.
Yep. This is the place where, as a younger player in Ambi, as you see on the camera right now, you've not had the experience to deal with these kinds of it's just you and your own voices in your head, backs against the wall, potential final round in the first map in the best of 3, of course. Whereas you're Troy Canadian, you have lost more grand finals than most people have ever played in. Thus, he's won the other half of the coin. So it's like, it's just another day for him.
Yeah.
But this is one of the things, Seth just said it there, 0-0, reset, don't worry about it. But when you can talk to teammates again, when you get back to the server, someone say, hey, Ambi, don't worry about it, man, we got this, whatever. Just make sure he's with you.
Yeah, you hear that? He said shit happens.
Yeah,
It's true.
it
It's the
does.
attitude you got to have. GG, go next.
Yeah. Can't dwell on that previous round. I think all the players knew that they could have done a lot of things differently in that round. When they got to that 4 versus 4 and they bottled it, doesn't matter anymore. It's all about the next round.
It's so easy to get in your own head about things, but every round of Siege is a new page to write on.
It is.
There's nothing from the previous round that has to seep into the next. And while Furia are up 7-6 at the moment over Rebellion, there's no reason why Rebellion can't push this deeper. Furia have now, for quite some time, been on that defensive side. They had their defensive half straight into defense OT. So that's 7 rounds in a row we've seen them play on that side. And they have one more than they've lost. It's a 4-3 split. Both halves were 3-3 for each team. It's been dead even. No reason why Rebellion can't come off in overtime. The flying start to their defenses like they did at the start of this map, which was 3 in a row. Even when Furia got that diffuser down, Rebellion was so proficient at those clutches and retakes. People really don't get the memo that you can't talk in technical timeouts.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a gray line, right? Because we've heard Super talk twice.
Yeah.
I don't know how exactly it works these days. Back in my day, you couldn't even touch your players like on the shoulder half the time because like, what if you give mixed signal or like secret signals rather?
Yeah, 2 little scrunches of the shoulder. That's strat number
it's like
2.
left shoulder's one, right shoulder's another.
Yeah.
Fist pump is a third.
I know there's been a topic of conversation in
In other games even too.
Yeah, other games can be a lot stricter than Siege.
I like Super. He just says 0-0, like first round. That's what he says. It's so true. Oh, he's
I'm
good?
good, he
Oh,
says.
he's good. All right.
I mean, we already knew that Ambi was good. Right?
I mean, 6 and 10. He's doing okay.
He's doing all right. Hey, his monitor turned off, dude. Give him a break.
Man, died on the injury. I see now what happened. Okay, so I think Troy just kind of had a bit of a misstep there. I think they were trying to peek behind Canadian's Blackbeard shield with a second player, and they both just died. That's where that 2K came from on Brawler.
Furia are going to be thanking their lucky stars for winning that round, considering that KZ, the Warden, and the instrumental Boiler player was the first one to fall. That said, whatever semblance of momentum perhaps existed after that first round at OT, I've no doubt it's pretty much reset. We've had a bit of a technical pause. Rebellion, good mental. Seth said 0-0 reset. Furia have had a few minutes to just forget that they're not supposed to talk and then be told off by the admins.
I will say, if you were to say which team benefited more from that technical timeout, just for fun's sake, I think the attacking team almost exclusively benefits the most because you can think to yourself, okay, if they go basement, we can do this. If they go kitchen, we can do that. Whereas in defense, you're running your own default strat and adapting to what the enemy is doing. Just a fun little thing. I feel like attackers always win out on that, but I don't think it's going to matter all that much right now. Comes down to execution, how you play it out on the server. Furia, they got good drone on the bomb site for good amount of intel. They saw the clash as well. Now they got to figure out, do they want to do the clash? They just hit the bomb site from 5 different directions. Because last time it was just, you know, they baited blue staircase where clash was, ran in breach and just planted, and that was that.
Yeah, it feels like it's been years since we saw the first half when Rebellion were playing defense. And yeah, we did see this basement defense with the clash twice from Canadian. Once won by Rebellion, once lost. And the loss was quite a gut-wrenching one. Furia still had 3 players alive at the end of that round. Looks like a successful map clear is underway. Rebellion not contesting at all, and Furia have made excellent timing.
It's funny how both teams have opted for very similar basement defense, right? With the whole we're not gonna roam, play the clash, play time deny. No Kai Tuber this time around, but the Goyo the Smoke plays the same story. The Arunian Rexon is a curious one to me. I don't know if they're playing it so much more for the gadget or the weapon or a mixture of both, perhaps. I don't see the gates being massively high in value, but maybe I'm not seeing the full picture right now myself.
Oh, there's a lot of info on site here. Hertz flicking these 2 cameras.
Hands off the mouse and keyboard, by the way. Hertz is chilling right now. They're waiting for the setup, but these Goyo canisters could be lethal later on. I like these Arunic gates, I guess.
Particularly the one on the hatch, should there be a desperate late round push. Not a huge amount of projectiles remaining on the roster for Furia to try and burn those Aruni gates should push come to shove.
Seconds, time is taking kind of low here, and Furia, they haven't shown us really what their plan is right now. They have 3 players on the fireplace side, Casey with Diffuser in the kitchen hatch, opening that right now as we speak. It feels like they've been fishing, looking for a kill, looking for an entry, but Rebellion playing very sheltered roles on the bomb side, but there's the rotation. 3 people backside now. It seems like hatch drop in the staircase, into the bomb side door, just hit them from all 5 different angles and win out the gunfight.
There's 20 seconds left to play.
Risky.
It's far too late for this. The only way the Furia win this round is JV drops this hatch and conjures up a storm, but Hertz is the first one to fall. 15 seconds remain. JV falls immediately to Ambi. Nade can find 2 from the main stairs, and Philippox from the rear side perhaps makes it winnable, but the diffuser is cold on the ground. Enough kills could come out here for Furia to win it, but not if Philippox can't find anything.
Hey, 0-0. This is what we fucking play for. Deep fucking, like right fucking now, deep fucking breaths.
It's not 0-0, it's 7-7. Next round determines the map.
Settle down, guys. 0-0. No one fucking cares.
What's up, boys? Let's go.
No,
Deep breaths.
It don't matter. Let's go. It's fine. It doesn't fucking matter. Let's just reset though, right? Like no fucking. Let's not be tense, bro. Let's not be tense.
The pressure isn't there.
If we lose this round right now, I do not give a fuck. You should not either. Let's just fucking play.
This is good.
Take it easy, all right? Like a fucking scrim, please. Let's go. All right? Dean, talk about fucking taking it up the ass or something. All right?
I did not see that coming at all. The plot twist.
I'm dead.
Okay.
I'm dead.
So that happened.
That is the most tense, let's not be tense call I've ever heard.
Oh my days, Canadian, please don't you ever change.
Never change, Troy.
But
Never change.
such a leadership figure though, right? I mean, let's say that somebody made a massive mistake in that round. Troy goes, don't worry about that, that's on me. Nobody made a mistake. It's about the tenseness and the pressure. And we just gotta chill right now. It doesn't matter, it's a scrim.
I think Fresh needs a new square on his bingo.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Nice to have a bit of levity in what has been a really tense game. 7-7. Rebellion insisting that we don't care if we lose this round, just another scrim. But I can't help but feel like the tension is palpable.
Oh, it's so motivating to see. As a former player myself, having had and still have so much respect for a player like Canadian, he still got it. The leadership, the right words in the right moments. This aggressive swing is so aggressive.
Another one!
Punishes serve.
Oh my God! 2 for Herds on the jump out, and it's Canadian, no less. He could have even gone for 3. Grixer got him back, but Herds is going to be laughing in his chair.
All right, time for plan B. Ambi go kill. Rex and Grixer clutch up because right now strat A is done. It's Ace and it's the Sens that are dead. Most important operators in terms of strategy. But
Guys.
Grixer hits the shot.
0-0. It's a 3v3. Reset. I don't care if we lose this round. And Canadian, he's quite a leader.
Oh.
Leading from the death. Doesn't matter if he's from beyond the grave. He'll still support his
Frostman.
team. Rexon can pick himself back up. He's going to be injured. A little bit of damage. Philippox looking to peek.
That's a C4.
C4, that'll finish him off. That's a big kill. Sprayed down to low HP.
Oh.
The young gunner to secure the kill and spot out another, but can't confirm it yet. Perfect operator to find these Valkyrie cameras too. Half the round to play, and we're down to a 2 versus 2.
Back and forth, 1-for-1 trades the entire way through. Ambi knows that something's up with this Valkyrie cam, afraid of getting baited out. Grixer's there for the assist. This is so even. The only issue is, well, hard destruction you have some of when it comes down to the Grixer and Hibana. But we know Furia, they like gunfights. You gotta respect and fear these swings out of nowhere. That jump up from Hertz, other players into that too.
Guess what? It's the 2 deadliest players for Furia still alive in the server, KZ and JV. 26 kills between them.
It's about a swing as well. I don't know if you can plant here. It seems so risky. I would rather take the gunfights, make that a 2v1 if you're Rebellion. But imagine a 1v1, the pressure.
Good flash. KZ lies in wait. The Lion from Brazil, he finds his
What?
first kill. A second spray finds nothing. Grixer needs to clutch up. Spots out that Valkyrie camera, but KZ still continues to harass him. And he roars louder than ever. Pushed to the brink, but Furia will overcome. Rebellion gave it their all, but the first map is to be taken by the reigning champs.
Such good adaptation for both teams back and forth. And Furia, there were, after that halfway point on the round count, they finally managed to figure out, okay, how do we pick apart Rebellion and their setups? Such a well-played game there from Furia.
That's map 1 done, and if it's anything to go by, this is going to be a banger of a series. Cafe up next.
Well, we don't exactly know what it was that Shopify Rebellion were talking about at the end of that game. Talking about taking up something somewhere, don't know. It just didn't work out for them, unfortunately. A very close game, though. A 7-8 loss for Shopify Rebellion. A back and forth in general.
I mean, it was amazing to watch. The creativity out of that game was beautiful. We saw Blackbeard. We saw Sense. We saw Clash. We saw Glaz. The back and forth, every single kill was a trade. It was beautiful. It was like watching two figure skaters dance together. And the one thing that set Furia aside was just their information. All of these rounds really came down to the wire, to clutches, to big plays, 2v2s. But every single time Furia was winning, they always had information. They always had a Valcam, they always had a Bulletproof, and they always had Clash. And in those situations, that information is so key when you're going up against an adaptive team like Shopify Rebellion. But I mean, it's safe to say that this match so far has impressed us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both teams were just fighting back and forth. And like you were saying, the camera information that they were just getting, the overall information that Furia had that last round in particular with the default cams up,
yes.
with the Val cams up, it really put them in a position that they just weren't going to be able to win after losing in one person, then it went into the 2v1. And then you just look at the stats across the board. I mean, everyone, there's no one that you could pick out here and be like, they underperformed. Everyone was absolutely showing up, putting in the performance that they needed. This is the game that we was going to be hyped up, and this is exactly being displayed what is expected from both these teams.
And I love seeing the battle of the IGLs both performing very well. Going into this event so far, or this match, Felipox was the highest rated player on his team. Canadians also been having an uncharacteristic performance of being at the top of the leaderboard, because usually he's just sitting back IGLing. But you can just see when both IGLs are working against each other, they have to come alive. And it's a full 5v5 right now in the server.
You know, when I talk about the beauty of IGLs, how I see them setting up this match, really it came down to a chess match. It was quite the gambit of both teams. I mean, you want to talk about a good game of Siege from both ends. Every single one of these kills was immediately, if not traded, on the dot of right back to one. There wasn't a moment of breath being able to be had without it being taken away in that next second. It really came down to the end of Grixer finding it and checkmating in this round, but that was through and through. With each one of these rounds, it was just a constant back and forth, and then one player stepping up and having a really big moment.
Yeah, especially for a neutral viewer, this game must have been absolutely amazing to watch, with so many individuals popping off, the great individual gun skill that we saw from both these players, the chess game, like you call it as well, the back and forth in these rounds. So many creative things as well coming out from these two teams.
Absolutely. I mean, the sense play, we saw it in some of the clips, the way that they were using the sense to block off blue stairs or block off garage and then make a push directly off of it. Nice shots from AMB to follow up. Or when they would use the Blackbeard to burst through a closed barricade, take the attention, and then immediately someone swing behind it. Or the clash play that was constantly going for these fights. I mean, it was really beautiful. It's such a treat to watch.
We'll have more of this coming up, though, as we're going into the second map, which will be Cafe after the break.
Tap, tap, yeah, I want that. No lines, I don't cut back. Sweet, salty, and all that. Let loose, come get that. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel it? Let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel that? Ooh, you feel that? Ooh, the real back. Ooh, I'm still that. Ooh, you catch that? Ooh, I guess that. The best back. Yeah, yeah. 30,000 up, I'm a pilot. Might jump out if I'm wildin'. Catch my flow, I'm so stylish. Tap, tap, real smooth. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go.
lead the series 1-0, but we're going to Shopify Rebellion's map pick next. That is going to be Cafe. Now, yesterday and today has been a pretty good day to be an NA fan so far, if you exclude the hiccup of DZ earlier. We need Shopify Rebellion to step up to keep this momentum going.
We do, and I expect the exact same thing that we were seeing throughout that Chalet matchup. It's going to be very intense. And the thing about Cafe, it's going to play very kind of similar to Chalet, that you're always going to be backed up by a teammate. You're always going to be holding for a position and trying to hold it for as long as you possibly can and then kind of retract back to site. This is a map, again, it's going to be similar, kind of like a chessboard. You're going to be moving your pieces all the way until you can start take, keep trade until you get to that very end, and that's exactly what is going to be happening straight out the gates, especially for Shopify starting on attack.
Yeah, the map plays out very similarly, but what I'm really excited to see is two polar opposite teams on this matchup. I mean, Furia innovated the way that you play Cafe, using the Azami, playing in piano. I mean, KZ would die more often than not in piano, but he would always take 1, 2, 3 people with him. So they play a hyper-aggressive Cafe. They don't let you in the building. Whereas if you look at Shopify Rebellion, I mean, Canadian, as long as time has gone on with Siege, he's always playing the vertical angles, always below with the C4, always up top with the verticality. He loves forcing teams going for that execute, and that's when he grabs them.
What I think it's even more important and more imperative, especially if Furia wants to get this done in a 2-0, is they did lose it to K. So they need to be quick at adapting and understanding they have a VOD on us. We need to be able to make changes, whether it's just bringing a different operator. That can completely change a lineup in terms of how you approach a site, how you approach a certain power spot. Like, it's going to be so important, more so for Furia, to understand that they aren't going to be able to switch up a whole lot, but they can make micro adjustments that can be a huge impact in the round.
I agree.
It's definitely a known that Furia like to play aggressive, and like you say, on Cafe definitely coming into as well. What do you want to see from Rebellion going into this map to make sure they can tie the series back?
Getting in the map is the first step, not letting the over-aggression stop them. They did a great job on Chalet, but the Cafe is so much more linear, and getting in the building is step 1. If they can do that, they'll be set off a lot better than Chalet.
Well, Shopify Rebellion need to keep that NA momentum going, try to tie the series back up on their own map pick of Cafe.
Thank you very much, and yeah, it's time to get into map number 2, Cafe. And as the guys on the analysts said, Furia already lost this map to KAG previously in the tournament. It was a really close 8-7. I just want to see another 8-7. Like, I really don't care who wins. I'm kind of biased to Shopify because I want the full 3 maps. This is the best game we've seen so far, the best game that we have casted, and I don't want it to end soon. I want this to keep going deep, and you guys at home are siding with the Americans.
Yeah, once more. I mean, looking at that Chalet match, any of these two teams could have taken it. I really don't think it was like, oh, decisive Furia, decisive Rebellion. It was a back and forth brawl the entire way through. And I think Flax and Foxy put it so well. This map of Cafe plays quite similar to Chalet, about playing together, you know, having their own defense, falling back towards the bomb side. But I do think Cafe leaves a lot of room open for creativity with the sense, for example. So I'm very curious if we'll see any funky operators. Rebellion starts things off with Capital. That's nothing too out the norm. That fire is so annoying to deal with because there's so many corners you can play in the top 4 portion of the map. Furia, they opt for Amos.
So yeah, all the shields left in and Sens left in. I do wonder how long it's going to take before people start banning that Sens against Shopify Rebellion, just because they are the best team at the moment, the most innovative team at using that operator. Azami ban done out. What's JV celebrating? Did he make a bet over the Azami ban or something?
Might have a little prediction there on the side of Furia. Mirror to follow things through. Okay, so all of these operators actually impact one specific part of the map very heavily. That's piano. Keep it barriers from Asami, all about piano. Mirror windows, often watching over piano. Capital is to clear the piano corner, for example. So both teams here saying, hey, the first step of this map, very often, you should drop down the red hatch, you take cigar control, you take piano somewhat in control, and that's your foothold, your starting ground. But getting into that very first position in Cafe is extremely difficult because the only way in, a hatch drop or a window rappel. So they're both saying, okay, early game is going to be easier. First round, Furia on defense, Rebellion on the attack will be downstairs in the kitchen and kitchen bomb side.
Kitchen and kitchen.
Yeah.
Service and cooking.
Oh, you ate with that one.
I know this.
It's always
I know
called the
stuff,
kitchen and
bro.
kitchen.
This is why I'm an amateur unranked player.
Is this why?
Yeah, I don't even have a rank. I used to play like 200 ranked games a season. Now I'm just washed. The one thing I remember is everybody calls, well, everybody, a couple of people in OS call the like benches in kitchen. There's one called Gordon, one called Ramsey.
Yeah, we have that as well.
Greatest call outs ever.
People always go, but which one is which one? Like, it doesn't matter, guys. It's all the same. Like,
It really doesn't matter if the call is accurate. All that matters is how hilarious it is.
great.
That's how I play Siege anyway. Furia and Rebellion, I mean, they're kind of at a different level. An upper echelon. Slightly. And already they're bringing some secret sauce to the table. Rebellion looking to spice things up. We got Glaz, we got Monty, and of course we got the infamous Sens. Now, we will remind you guys, Glaz can no longer look through those Sens projectors. But I'm sure that Rebellion don't mind that at all. They're so good at using that ability otherwise. And while there is a bulletproof camera on Felipox to peer through the smoke from the Monty and the Glaz, that's all. That's the only util that Furia have to counter it.
Only limitation right now is limited heart breaching from Rebellion. They just got can openers on Surf, who's playing the Sense. So I see the vision here, right? If you Shopify Rebellion.
Oh, what's this?
You just swing out. That's a great swing there. That's also heart breacher dead. Rebellion don't want to take control over Bakery and Wedding, where Casey is right now. They go for a direct bombs and attack, but with this opening dev onto Surf, this might change Rebellion's plans because they need that operator to make this work.
Such an uncharacteristic way to play the smoke as well. Aggressively getting in the face and retaking that position also does a bit of damage there to Canadian. He's feeling that pressure. Oh. And Rexton will finally take him down. Rebellion might have lost the first player, but they made sure not to let KZ get away with his life.
What can they do in this spot? Do they know that he is here? Ambi's right behind him inside the coat room, actually. Can get a line of sight towards me if he wants to. Impact grenade goes down. Flashbang follows through. Warrior canister popped.
Ambi's found herds as well. A little bit of damage done. What's going on there? A kill onto that Monty. Pistol comes out for Felipox. Can't find it. Rexon going nuclear on the Glaz. 3 kills with that DMR JV. Up against 3 now for Furia.
It's not over just yet. One flashbang put off Ambi, no smoke grenades. Plan is not gonna be easy, but they got so much time to work with 4 drones in pocket. All they gotta do, figure out where is JV playing from, and play that 3v1 to perfection.
Don't think he knows where Ambi's coming from. He might have a clue now thanks to that flashbang and the air jab. He's trying to figure this one out. Oh, spots out the Glass, spots the second. It's a 1v1. JV, he can't be doing it. How on earth does he get away with it? You can take him out of Brazil, but you can't shut him down so easily. A 1v3 for the Star.
And he's playing Castle with the worst gun in the game. I mean, he found the most important player first. Rexton had that 3K on the Glass. The second follow-up as well, right afterwards, right behind him. They almost like lined up for it. I mean, how many spots could he have been in for JV? Not many. Deep freezer, deep kitchen. But he was playing on that soft wall. There's a world in which you drone. There's a world where you just plant by the bomb chassis. There's a world where you push in Ambi and sacrifice a player. I didn't see a world where he just gets the 3K like that, uncontested.
He's such a meme, dude.
And just like that, Furia, they start things off the way they lift things back on Chalet.
There's little more intimidating as a Rainbow Six player than sitting at your PC at LAN and hearing Brazilian insults getting hurled at you from beside the screen.
Tashanka?
You have no idea what he's saying, but you know you probably don't want to know.
Tashanka, Ella shots on pulse. What is this?
Yeah, great question. This is
This is great for a lot of reasons. Tashanka actually counters like every operator again. He's crazy. Never played though. Monty, no problem. Plant spots, if you know the lineup, also no problem. Rushes kind of works that too. It's like Goya, but you're just throwing out those Molotovs from your gadget instead of replacing them.
They don't last very long though, and it does take a lot of time to bring out that Shamika launcher and start firing it, let alone reloading.
Don't get yourself a reload, man. That reload is nasty long.
Yeah.
Each shell, dook, dook, dook.
Yeah.
Make it a magazine already.
Time actually distorts. It's like if you've seen the movie Interstellar, when you start reloading the Tachanka Shamika launcher, you actually enter a different frame of reference for the 4th dimension.
That is certainly how it feels. Now, the big question mark for me is actually the Ella shotgun, but you're playing Cigar Shop and deployable shield, so it makes sense, I guess.
It's a cool idea. It's something we don't see much these days. I don't think he actually has the deployable shield, though. That's been allocated to Pixel, which has been a long time since we saw the Pixel shield, yeah.
Okay. So this also, counter being banned, makes this infinitely harder for the attack inside, because one fire to clear one shield. Now it's not that simple. 2 grenades in pocket of Blackbeard, 1 in pocket of IQ of Rexen, so they got utility to work with.
Oh, they don't know he's here in Shaka, though.
He's hard left.
Yeah, I mean, this is a freebie for Nade. Surely, okay. Nade is just baiting his team, it seems. He's let Herds die. He does need to bide his time. He's not a sure guarantee to kill Canadian on that Blackbeard. Oh, he's about to get droned. Yeah, this is not great. He brings out the pistol, spots the Blackbeard. Nade comes out. He goes for the pistol shot. And it's a trade. Ironically, Nade dying to his namesake as he takes down Canadian. Furia worse for wear. A player down.
They lost Cigar player, and also Shanka. I mean, it's time for plan B, I think, which usually for Fury means let's get crazy on the swings. They got the saving grace, Philippox in piano, ADS's deployable shield. He can make a world of a difference in this position. And look at Rebellion. They have 1 EMP and 1 frag grenade. So the EMP can go in without getting caught by an ADS. Then the nade can clear the shield and the corner position. But if that doesn't happen, they can't clear it at all.
You know what else is important? Rebellion only have a single drone up. So there's no way to get information on these players. And as a result, they will remain undetected. KZ finds his one.
Planting here?
The plant is going down in the middle of the bloody site. KZ easily. He's like a slippery snake. Look him weasel his way up the bar and deny the plant. 2v2 though. Rexen finished. Surf is traded. It's up to Philippox now. Surf, the new player, but Philippox will carve them all up. Vamos Furia, 2 rounds on the trot.
I think this is where you call a tactical timeout if you're Rebellion. If it wasn't for Troy, he can keep the players cool, calm, and collected for now. But the way these rounds are playing out, how frustratingly close they are, how Rebellion can kind of break that middle portion of the bomb side on the first 2 attempts, it's gonna start causing some of that tension that we heard from them earlier.
Control these fucking rounds. And this shit on the defender sided.
Not lower.
So yeah, talking about control, losing in the last 2 rounds. I love this opening for Canadian though. The Shanka was massive, the grenade trade here. If he gets the Ella without dying, of course it's better, but trading yourself like that is not bad at all.
Worthwhile for sure.
Definitely.
The round was really lost in that little quiet moment when
nothing happened.
Rebellion, they had no drones left. Well, they had 1 drone left, which I'm sure was in a spot where they couldn't really use it. And they had, what, 1 EMP and 1 grenade?
Yeah, and that's why I feel like so they needed the freezer shield instead, which isn't a bad idea, but the piano player Philippox got like 2 of the 3 kills or whatever. It's like in hindsight, what if you dealt with him first, you know?
Yeah. No, they never fully cleared that position of Pixel and washrooms as well. An awkward round for Rebellion. But as Canadian said just then, as we saw in the face cameras, it's defensive phasing. Like, they can't let this get into their head.
No, they can just get a couple of rounds. I think the only thing right now, if they go 2-4, or like, let's say they get a round now, versus going down 0-4. I think you just need a little bit of hope, right?
Yeah.
One of the next 2 rounds are fine, but if they got 3-0, 4-0, that's the dangerous territory in my mind, because then it almost seems impossible, even though you go on defense. But they got, again, that deep strat book of operators, flexibility, they can adapt. Now Canadian on the Ying instead. As an IGL...
With a shotgun, by the way.
With a shotgun.
Is this APAC in 2018?
It does sure seem like it. The Ella, the Ying shotgun. I think being an IGL in the front, which Canadian often is, like Blackbeard Ying Center, is very valuable in Cafe. If you're in the very far back, it's hard to see what's actually happening on the map in front of you, unless you're just AFK on your drone the entire time. Canadian being on a pseudo-entry operator style can certainly help that he can progress the team in the round early on. C4 goes wide, doesn't hit.
Oh,
Canadian opening kill with shotgun, actually.
Yeah, okay, he's made it work. Where is Canadian? Oh, look at that. Entry into Cigar Shop. Ambi finds 1, almost gets a second, but Herds finds him. Canadian now bringing out that pistol. Diffuser is cold in backstore. JV will piece on out. Ying done. What was that?
Very scrappy. I mean, service on the roof. Berkser was on the rappel, which it did assist the overall, strategy there, but it seemed like a very disjointed and mistimed attack there from Rebellion. Very unlike them from what we're used to seeing. It's their map pick. I mean, they should be super ready for this, but they aren't.
Well, at least we got the sledgehammer for Surf, so we can keep working on this vertical game and try and expose some of these positions. However, what we know is that all of these Furia players are far away from being exposed. With the exception of... Well, I'm confused. I thought I saw 4 outlines for a sec. It's because the Scopos remaining shell still has an outline despite being in train. So Herds is actually in an exposed position to some vertical should Surf get in position for it. As he is right now, actually. And spots out Herds, but Herds is able to retreat. No one watching his other vert. Grixer occupied with elsewhere, and as a result, Herds is able to escape. 20 seconds to play. Now Grixer looking a little bit desperate. He doesn't spot Herds, but does get the wall bang on the second swing. Surf does fall eventually, and an easy shot from Felipox. JV's fired up. Furia looking pretty much untouchable on this defensive half.
Time for a mental reset if you are Rebellion. Just, get back and sync up really on these attacks. Canadian was in solo. We saw 2 players in Cigar, and then we had 2 people outside the building. Shopify will call their technical timeout. Let's listen in.
Ignored the score. It's fucking 0-0. We're having great starts to these rounds. Make sure when we have these advantages, you're fucking either resetting and holding your flank or people pushing up at you immediately, or you're just resetting and playing your life. Because we've swung a couple times once we had kills, we could have played the situations differently. When we're pushing, be fucking together. They are going to fight you, so there's no reason to be standing still. If you're clearing them, they're gonna fucking run at you. So be together. With that being said, when we're fucking clearing, they're running at you, look for gaps. Somebody can take a gap because they're fucking running at you. Look for gaps, play together, don't be fucking scared. You are better, fight them.
Scott, yes, do not be afraid to take gaps. They over-rotate constantly.
So that cool, calm, collected Seth that we saw on the first map has vanished, seemingly, because now it's serious business time, James, and they gotta do better because they are not performing to the level of expectations right now in their own minds. But he's right. Play together, the timings, right? Either play for the gaps or play for the expected pushes. Because they're getting caught off guard continuously.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, this is a perfect example, right? Nade retaking the red stairs. He found one, he was traded. I think Seth has a perfect read on Furia, right? Like, Rebellion found the opening kill that round. They had a nice idea for the way into that round, the opening kill. It was Canadian rappelling in with the shotgun Ying, right? But then it was Furia just deciding, okay, we're gonna double, triple, quadruple down. We're gonna keep on pushing and refragging. We're gonna run at you. And Seth's got that read, right? Rebellion just have to be a little bit more ready for that aggression, that re-aggression from Furia, and they won't allow these rounds to become 3v3s, 2v2s, because that's what Furia want. Furia are perfectly happy for there to be a real skirmish at the start of the round.
For sure.
And then to end up with a 3v3 or a 2v2. That's how they want to play this.
Exactly. Rebellion, the opposite. They need their 3, 4, 5 operators alive and have the right tools available to them to make the right decisions. But if you're Rebellion, I don't blame them for falling short right now because this is not usually what Cafe looks like. It's hard to get in the building, and then it gets easier. Right now, it's easy to get in the building, and it gets very difficult. So it's kind of flipped upside down. Reset, round 0-0. Canadian back on the mountain like in the beginning. High pressure in Bakery. Walk on, sprint on in.
Straight on inside. The Surf shotgun comes out. He's damaged by the fire a little bit, but able to survive. And nade goes down. Less than a minute done, and already Bakery is cleared. That's beautiful work from Rebellion. They saw that gap and they made it work. And now they're slowing down. They're resetting. This is exactly what Super said. And guess what Fury is doing? They're re-aggressing. Exactly like we knew they would. And Felipox has made mincemeat of the Americans. It's all up to Grixer. And there's nothing for it. You cannot tame the beast. Doesn't matter if you know what's coming. Furia will still find you and they will take you down.
How do you prepare for this? I know Seth said it. I know that you spoke about it. I know, but who in their right mind retakes Baker with 4 defenders, pushing the smoke, pushing the Monty against the Yinkadillas popping off in front of you? It's unheard of. And they all do it together with so much confidence. I would say it's an ego challenge, but they're being humble about it. They're not making bad mistakes. They're not being desperate. They're just being smartly aggressive together as a team. And if you're Seth, you just spent 60 seconds saying, they're gonna look for these things, they're gonna look for gaps, they're gonna push you. Hold it, be ready for it. And what happens 50 seconds later? They get surprised by the aggression.
It's going to be a tilter because that tactical timeout literally called exactly what would happen.
Yeah.
Rebellion did everything right. They found a gap, and then they knew that there would be re-aggression. And yet Philippox walks back into Bakery with the SMG-11 and finds 3 kills. 3 kills on the smoke. Retaking. Rebellion achieved the impossible. They took Bakery without losing a player
It was perfect.
in 55 seconds.
It was perfect. It's the point where you say, that's pretty much round over right there, strategically speaking, but no. And this is the thing. With the meta shifting back to be less shield-oriented, there are less and less counters for this very team-heavy aggression from Furia. You have guns against guns. The Monty isn't a massive threat the same way it was in the past. Blitz isn't being played as frequently. Fuse Shield, yeah, goodbye with that. And now we're seeing Furia back where they control their own pace a lot more. And until Rebellion can shut them down on their aggression, they're gonna keep doing it because why wouldn't they?
That's right. It's funny. The phrase comes to mind. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Rebellion know exactly what's happening, and yet they cannot handle it. And they're looking like fools because of it.
There's also a cafe as a map. It's such a small, compact little box. You don't have a lot of space to work, not a lot of movement you can have, no rotations to enforce. So like you don't have a lot of options right now for, you know, backstabbing or catching people off guard. He missed her on the corner, by the way. I'm not sure it's gonna matter all that much, but it's just like, what can Rebellion do? You can go window repels or a hatch drop. That's all you can do.
Oh.
He is dead.
Rexon's found his though, dropping the hatch.
Just hiding.
He's gonna make things very awkward now.
Oh.
And he will fall. Herds comes in for 1, and Rexon manages 3 kills. It's a 2v2. KZ swings again. Oh my god. Minute and a half into the round, it's a 1v2. What on earth is this game that we're watching, Pengu? Because I got no bloody clue.
I mean, the thing is, Surf was droning, Rexing swinging, again disjointed here from Rebellion, not playing together, not playing the same round of Siege right now. Furia, though, they are on fire.
KZ is on fire. At Doc over in Cocktail, and he pushes for it. He still doesn't back down. And Furia are looking pretty much untouchable. That's 5 rounds of defense on Cafe with no response from Shopify Rebellion.
I gotta say, I can't recall the last time I've seen a Cafe being played like this by the defenders. They have zero care for bomb side.
I think I've heard you say that before, Super.
Yeah, the 0-0 reset is...
it's true, but
it's true, but it can't be the only phrase that we have.
No, well, unfortunately, like, if you're saying something and the message isn't getting across, then
gotta go.
I think saying it isn't clearly helping. There has to be something else. I don't know what to say for Rebellion. I mean, they're having good ideas, but I feel like Furia, like, they've really come to life. The players are feeling hot, and then having no hesitation. Yeah. The decision-making to re-aggress, it's instantaneous.
I think, obviously, whenever a team is up like 3-0, 4-0, you're always gonna say to yourself, that can only be a good thing. But teams like Furia, and I think also BDS, with players like Shaiko, for example, when you let them thrive and feel like you're on top of the world, they will win every gunfight, and they got like 4-0 round count, they will take the most outrageous, risky gunfights, and because they're so goddamn good, they'll win them more often than not, and this is the result. And again, until Rebellion can shut down Furia's aggression, they will keep forcing this playstyle. Because they're up 5-0, they can throw the next 2 rounds, it doesn't matter. There's zero pressure on them. Meanwhile, Rebellion, their biggest talking point on Chalet and doing both critical timeouts is their 2-10s. Communication isn't there, and they gotta be on the same page. This round is gonna be one of those timing rounds. Amaru, Blitz, Ying, Dokkaebi, every single person needs to play this round together for Rebellion. No missed timings, no lack of teamwork or communication, because if one guy messes up, that's the round, then you're down 0-6. They're going for it now.
Incandela's in. Ambi goes straight on in with the Garo hook. There is a response, though. Furia did not leave a gap. Rebellion thought they saw one, but it was all an illusion. Now Rexon to pick up the pieces. He's got an inkling on where Felipox may be. There's Surf to come and support. Rexon is left all alone. Here comes that logic bomb. He's got an inkling. It's a rappel here on the site window. There's nothing in for it. And it's not possible for Surf to rappel on into a three-way crossfire.
I hate to say it, but the mistiming was there. Canadian on blitz pushed in before the Yinkatilla popped off, so therefore no attackers or no defenders were blinded during the initial push. Died for nothing so quickly, as did Ambi, as did Grixer shortly after. This 2v4, they gotta fight for it, that's one.
Nice shot, but KZ on from the flank. Dispatches with him. Nice
he
shot
one-banged him.
from Surf! Double kill with the SMG-12, guess what? 1v1.
Oh, this is...
But KZ! He sends it from way downtown! And the package that Surf wasn't ready for sends him out of the server. Unreal from Furia. That's 6-0 on their defense.
How do we get here? From max overtime, back and forth rounds in Chalet, to an absolutely bloodbath, one-sided map of Cafe. I know it's 6-0. It could have been 2-4 with very small minor fixes there from Rebellion, but look at this. Canadian runs in, just toe shot, they can dare less really commit. Armor falls flat. Nothing really worked. Then Surf happened. 1-2, quick punch. But a C4 response, perfect from Furia. No weaknesses, no gaps. Business as usual. Now, Rebellion, they're locked in, guaranteed for playoffs. They are playing for less than Furia, if you will. But trust me, they want this victory just as much.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, everybody in the group stage is setting their sights on first seed in their group. Currently, FaZe sits at the top of Group B. But if Rebellion is able to win this game, they will overtake them. It's not looking possible at this point. Furia, should they win this in a 2-0, they'll tie Rebellion for points. I think Rebellion will likely still be ahead on round difference, but the thing is that this is Rebellion's last game in the group stage. They might be confirmed for playoffs, but they could drop as low as 4th place, potentially, depending on how CHE and Furia fare in their matches tomorrow.
This also means that if Furia gets these points, which they are, Secret are basically doomed at this point. So this group is going to get flipped.
Yeah, I can't believe it's Secret, the European squad, that are facing elimination here in the group of death. Not over yet, though. As Super loves to say, 0-0, don't bother looking at the scoreboard. Rebellion can make this comeback happen one step at a time.
You better believe it. What better way than your first round defense here to show that you got what it takes. All you gotta do is do 5 more times after that. Furia, all they gotta do is get one clutch, hit a couple of shots in one round, and that'll be that. Rebellion bring out utility, right? The Kite Claws, the Poles Canadian, iconic. Downstairs with a C4 in hand. 3 in total of that. We gotta look out for the openings, though. Those opening duels will be so round-defining. If Rebellion finds the first pick, they can play a bit slower, further back, play down the clock, and put pressure onto Furia to make the first move.
Good info. Oh, how?
On the rappel, just like that, he swings it.
Surf, a little bit too ambitious. And he makes a crucial mistake. It costs his team the advantage, but Canadian on his iconic pulse is back into it. KZ with the rappel in upstairs, supported by JV on the Blackbeard, hunting for it. Grixer has that kill confirmed, as Ambi has fled all the way up to the top, and he finds a kill! Left to his own devices! Furia flounder. And Ambi's still not taken down. KZ will finish him off. 2v2 as we restabilize.
Still 2 C4s in pocket right now. A lot of damage can be done with those. It's 60 seconds, unless mining and dining bombs are a lot of self-destruction, a lot of verticality. Last piece going out, 1 flourish in pocket. Furia with limited utility right now.
Do they know? Rexon, with one of the best guns in the current patch of the game, waiting, biding his time. KZ about to go past the flashbang. It's the warden though, the timing's not here for him. And KZ shuts him down. It's all up to Canadian. And KZ flicks him. The reigning champs are back in business, baby. You better believe it. Furia are fired up and flying into the playoffs.